Should you pay off your mortgage with your TSP? Is it a smart thing to do? Is it not a smart thing to do? That's what we're going over today, coming up next. Hey, my name is Mel Stubbs. I'm here on behalf of Retirement Benefits Institute to talk to federal employees about their retirement system and better planning for retirement. If you like this type of information, please like and subscribe to get videos like this every week. Now, as a disclaimer, the purpose of this video is not to give specific tax or investment advice. We are going over general principles and ideas intended as educational material. If you have any doubts as to the merits of the example, you should seek the advice of an independent financial advisor. Now, let's talk about it. Should you pay off your mortgage? Well, for some people, this is a peace of mind decision and you just want to pay it off. Doesn't matter the math behind it, I just want to pay it off. And if that's true for you, then maybe you should pay it off. We've talked to lots of people that have paid their mortgage off in the past, and it didn't seem like any of them were mad about it. So most of the time people are happy once they pay it off. But if we look at the math of it, does it make sense to pay off the balance with your TSP? So let's look at some math. Now your TSP, most people, it's mainly traditional. So there might be a little bit of Roth in your TSP, but most people, it's pretty much all traditional, which means as you take the money out, it's going to be taxed. Now here's an idea that we all know, but we probably haven't heard it this way, is that when you go into debt, you have to pay back the debt with after-tax dollars. And the TSP is a great example of that. If you want to pull out money from TSP to pay off a debt, you have to pay taxes on it. But it's also the same way if you're working and I'm going to pay off my debt over time. I've got to work and earn the money, I got to pay taxes, and then I get my portion to pay it off. So you always pay off debt with after-tax dollars, which makes it less attractive to go into debt. So let's say you have a $100,000 mortgage balance. You're in the 22% federal tax, you're in the 5% state tax. You need $136,986 distribution. Now please note on the math here, you can see that you're in the 27% like total bracket. A lot of people say, well, I need 100,000. I'm in the 27% bracket. I need to take out $127,000. That's not how the math works. So you got to take out 136,000. When you apply the 27% tax to that, you will end up with $100,000 to spend. So this goes to show how after tax dollars, you got to take out a lot more to pay it off. Now let's look at a $200,000 mortgage balance. At the 22% federal, 5% state, you've got to take out $273,973 for a TSP distribution. That's a lot. And if you take out that much in 1 year, it's going to run you up the tax bracket. Because remember, your tax bracket is based on your income. So if you're retired and you have a pension and you've got either the supplement or some Social Security, and maybe you're taking a little bit from TSP to live on, all of that is income and it's taxable. So if you now go take out $273,000 of additional dollars, it's going to run you up the tax bracket even more. And I bet, well, I know for sure you're not going to be in the 22% bracket, because right now in 2021, the 22% bracket stops about $180,000 of income. So if you're taking out $274,000, you're going to be way up the tax bracket and actually be paying a higher tax. So this shows how taxes can really affect the decision of wanting to pay off the mortgage. Now, what if your money is coming not from TSP, but from other money? Now, if it's just regular money sitting at the bank, then you can pull it out and pay it, and there's probably not a whole lot of gains there that you have to pay capital gains on. But if you have an investment account somewhere where you've got stocks and mutual funds, and there's a whole bunch of gains in that account, meaning you bought it for cheap, it's grown a whole lot. If you cash that out to pay off the mortgage, you do have to pay capital gains on the gains. Depending on your tax bracket, where your income is, will determine what the capital gains rate is, but you would have capital gains on that type of growth. That also kind of makes it less appealing. The other thing to think of is the opportunity cost. Let's say you do take out the money from TSP to pay off the mortgage. Well, what interest rate was your mortgage at, and what were you earning in your TSP? So if we look here on the tsp.gov fund performance page, In 2021, the G fund earned 1.12%. I believe in 2020 it earned 0.97%. So what is the interest rate you're paying on your mortgage? If you have your money sitting in the G fund earning 1%, or you could pay off a mortgage at 3%, 3.5%, it might make sense to do that. But if you have your money more aggressively invested, if you look there, 2021, the C fund is at 24% so far this year. Last year, 2020, it was 18%. 2019, it was 31%. If you could earn that type of money, then mathematically, it wouldn't make sense to take that money out and pay off the mortgage when you can earn that much more. Now, the dilemma is you don't know what the future is going to be like. Historically looking back, yeah, you probably shouldn't have paid it off because you could have earned that money. But going forward, we don't know what it's going to earn. So some of it you might need to look at is, what is the allocation that you're using? How risky are you being? What do you expect to earn from the TSP? And mathematically, if you expect to earn more than what the interest rate is on your mortgage, then it may make sense for you to not pay it off and instead let the money grow. Now, if we rephrase the question, now a lot of times when we get asked, should I pay off my mortgage? What they're really asking is, I don't want to pay my mortgage through my monthly income. I don't want to have to pay the mortgage payment from my pension and my Social Security. I want my TSP to pay it for me. So if that is a better way to rephrase the question, there's two ways that your TSP can pay for it. One, we've already talked about. You can take a huge distribution and just have the TSP pay it off. But the other thing is we could set up monthly distributions from the TSP. Let's say the monthly distribution is $1,500. You pay taxes, you get less than that, and you pay the mortgage payment that way. That way you're not paying it through your monthly income, you're paying it through the TSP, but you're taking it out in smaller increments, which means you won't run up the tax bracket as bad. And also, most of the money is staying in the TSP, so it can still earn something that the TSP is earning. Now, all of these things would work just the same in an IRA. So if you're over the age of 59 and a half, you can move your TSP out into an IRA, get different investments, potentially earn more, all those type of things. You can also set up the same thing where the IRA would make the monthly payment for you by sending you money to your checking account and then you paying it. The main thing is can your mortgage be paid by your investments where you're not paying it from your monthly income? A lot of times you can get that worked out, and it seems to check all the boxes of you don't have the opportunity cost of I'm not going to earn nearly as much money now because I took it all out of the investment. Most of the money stays in the investment. It fixes the problem of I don't want to make my mortgage payment from my monthly income. This may be a thing where it fixes some of the dilemmas about taking out huge amounts from the TSP, and this might be what you're looking for. Now, for some people out there, it doesn't matter what the math says. They want it paid off, and that's great. There's ways to work it out. So if you do have to take a large distribution from TSP or an IRA, are there ways to work that out? Well, one idea would be to take the distributions over 2 different tax years. So maybe you take a distribution in December and then you take another distribution in January, and by splitting them up over the 2 different tax years, it won't run you up the tax bracket so bad. That's an idea. The main thing is you want to talk to somebody that can help you think through these decisions, think of all the potential options for fixing the dilemma, and pick the right one for you. And a lot of times, the first decision you come to might not be the best one. And usually the first decision is, I'm just going to pay it off with my TSP. Think through it with somebody that understands all the unintended consequences, because that's the problem. I want to do something, but there's always unintended consequences when you do that. Well, hopefully this helps you think through that decision. My name is Mel Stubbs. If you need help with federal planning, federal retirement, planning with your TSP, your IRA, these type of decisions, and you want to talk to somebody that understands your benefits, understands how they work together to have a good retirement, please reach out to retireinstitute.com. Call them on the number on your screen. We would love to talk with you, help talk through some of the decisions that you have coming up. My name is Mel Stubbs. I will talk to you next time.